All right, so here we go. Okay, so a brief review on lists. A couple of the things that we've learned how to do is we know how to use a for loop to go through a list. So I'm going to make list 1 is so this is just a review. Hello world, I am the first artificial well, what happens if I could spell intelligence correctly? Okay, so list 1, I can do for lm in list 1. For lm in list 1 bracket print lm. What's gonna print, Sonny? You have got an idea? What? Yeah, the lm, but what is lm? It's short for element. Yeah, it's going to print each individual one on its own line. So that's how you can cycle through a list. I can get the length. So if I don't want to count how many items are in that list, I can do length of list 1, which will return a number. So that tells me there are 8 items in this list. How do I print? What's the index? What's the minimum index of this list? That would be the maximum index of the list. Yes, the minimum is 0. So if I did list 1 bracket 0, that's going to print me hello. If I did list 1 bracket 7, that's going to give me intelligence. What if I did list 1 bracket 8, Josh V? What happens? Well, hang on. You're not Josh V.
If list 7 prints intelligence, it would print whatever got intelligence. I can't remember what it was.
Is there any?
Then it would say probably type error.
Not type error. Index error. That's like looking for inch 14 on a 12-inch ruler. It doesn't exist. The list index is out of range. If I wanted to delete world, how would I do that?
List 1 1.
So I want to get rid of world.
Oh, list 1 1.
List 1 1. Now we have list 1. Correctamundo. Now I want to change hello to goodbye. How do I do that? This is an important one. Mikey?
Is there a way to put another one in the list?
Another one what?
Another.
Like add a.
Yes, we're getting to that today. But I want to redefine what hello is. Stockton?
List 1 0 equals parentheses. Or no, not yeah, apostrophe. What you want it to be?
Goodbye.
Okay.
Perfect. Let's say I want to add this list. I want to add that list to the end of this other list. How do I do that? And I want it to equal a new list. So list 3 is, how do I put those together? Ezra.
Is it just list 1 plus list 2?
Yes, sir. And I believe that's the big stuff. Yes. So now what we're doing, a for loop. Oh, real quick. Is this true or false? So you can determine if something is in a list. So if goodbye in list 1, print that was found in the list.
In T list.
Yeah, in T list. Found. The multiple assignment trick is, that's okay. Enumerate. Again, enumerate's a slightly easier way to cycle through to display the index and the items of a list. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. It's just slightly easier. So you can do for index item and enumerate list 1, print index item. So that gives you both the index and the item. The slightly longer way to do this would be for index in range length of list 1, print index, and then we would do list 1 index. You get the same answer, it's just one's slightly easier because you only have one function here, and then you don't have to deal with the index, you can just do index and item. Okay, and then random, import random dot, what is something that will randomly select an item from a list?
Random choice.
What?
Random choice.
Random dot choice, and how do I do that? Just like
say-
this.
say list.
If you want to create, so random dot choice, if you want to put the list inside, you need parentheses and then brackets. And then 1, 2, 3, hello. You can do it that way as well. You don't have to have the list defined prior. It's a little easier, but you could put the list in just like that. And then we've gone over that before. Okay, so a method. So that was a real quick, boom, list review. If you have any questions, let me know. Yes, David. Oh, I thought I saw your hand up, sorry. So, now, a method is the same thing as a function, which we haven't gone over yet, but it's pre-written code that does something specific. Just like random.randint, that randint is a method, which is technically when we looked in the random file, we saw that define randint. I don't know if you guys remember it, but it's a function. It's pre-written code that does something specific. So, except it's called on something. So you have to have a list dot function and then it does something. So far we haven't really done that. We've done things to a list, like we've enumerated it, we've done the length of it, we've done the range of the length of it. We haven't done anything directly to a list. So what we're going to do now is we are going to start calling methods that directly interact with the list. So the first thing we're going to do is the index method. So what do you think the index method does, just going based off the name? Tells you the index of something. So very close, Ezra. So let's say I don't know where artificial is. I would do list 1 again. This is our list. I would do list 1 dot index. Now in here, this is the value I'm looking for. It will search the list for this. So I would type artificial. So if artificial is in here, what should we get back? What number? What? 5. Does that make sense? So now I can ask the user, what word would you like to replace? If they type in artificial, now I can do what do you want that replaced with? And let's say, what do you want it replaced with, Josh?
Sorry, John. This is gonna go alien.
I'm the first alien intelligence. Now what you can do is instead of hard coding it like this, let's say user is input right, so we ask the user what do you want to replace? What do you want to replace, Brendan?
Wait, no, sorry, that's a 1.
No, that's an I.
Oh,
Alright, we're replacing I. What do you want to replace it with? Okay, so now what we can do is we can do list1 dot index of user, which is going to give us 1. Right? It's going to give us this. Now, you guys want to see something cool? If you put list1 brackets this,
No, don't do it.
What?
do you guys understand why that works?
No.
No, it's so.
So, do you guys understand how this works?
That's an integer.
Binary.
Okay, so it finds the user index in list 1. So it finds if user is I right now, right? So user is I. So if we do list1 dot index, that's going to find the index of the letter I, which in our list is 1. Does that make sense? Okay. So if list1 index 1, what is that going to show us? What? Not am. I. So if this right here, so if user is I, that means we can put user in this line of code, right? So we can put user, and we're still going to get what? We're going to get 1, yep. And if this whole thing equates to the number 1, the integer 1, we can put it in here. So we can now have,
So that's just list 1, 1. But
this is list 1, 1. But this finds the index of the user and then displays whatever yeah. That's a little confusing. The reason I'm showing you this is that you can build you can put things together. You don't necessarily have to have a line. You can combine 2 or 3 lines into one thing. So as long as your math or your function or your code gives you an integer that is a number within that list, you can have whatever you want in here. So that if that's going to give me 1, I can now do plus plus the length of high. What's that going to equal? What's going to display?
Wait, no, not 3. We first. Wait, no, the.
Yep, the. So again, what's the length of high? Brendan's telling me 2. I'm adding that to, what does this equate to?
1,
So what's 1 plus 2?
3,
What's the third index of list 1? The.
oh,
0, 1, 2, 3. So you can combine things together. David, did you have a question? No?
Oh, that's 3. That's 2. That's 1. Okay, I get it.
Did everyone just have a light bulb moment like Mikey?
Kind of.
Kind of. Do you have? Yes. Okay, so I'll answer Catherine then Josh.
Does the name of the list have to be like list 1 and 2? Can it be like a variable thing?
Yeah, it is. That's just the list. That's what I created it up here as, list 1.
but you can make it anything.
You could make it, yeah, let's do names is. Alright, so we're going to go with Sonny, Mikey, because he spoke out of turn is last, and with a very misspelled name. And we'll do Josh, and then Catherine, and then Peter. Okay, so these are the names. So I can do names.index of Catherine, and it gives me 2.
So you're just layering things.
This, if you have corresponding. Okay, so here we go. Test 1 underscore grades. These are not reflective of your actual grades. I'm literally making up numbers. So let's say 90, 89, 78, 100, and 92.
Oh.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I don't like anyone being in the 70s, so that's going to be a 96. Haha.
Oh, so it's
Okay. So these test 1 grades correspond to the students above. You guys kind of intuitively knew that. Right? You guys were already complaining someone like Mikey getting 100 or whatever. Right? You guys intuitively connected the two. Did you not?
It's realistic.
Did you not? But that was intuitive.
Yeah.
You were like 5 names, 5 grades, boom, they're together. Right? A computer has no idea. To them, it's just data points. It's just information. So, but if I have a lot of information, I could do something like, so names, the index of Catherine is 2. So test 1 underscore grades 2, that's Catherine's grade. So I could do
Oh, I see now.
Catherine's grade is, and then I could do, actually let me print this, 'cause otherwise I don't want to screw it up, is, comma, yes, Catherine.
Can you do like, without typing in the Catherine's grade, is like use the list to replace that?
You're getting ahead of me. That's exactly what I was about to do. Yep. Josh, did you have a question?
Yeah, it was on the other line, like, what you made is that you added 1 and 2, and you made it list 1, 3.
Yeah, here.
And I get how you do all the math, but like, to what extent, like, how often are we gonna use such a complex thing? Would it be easier? Like,
You probably won't ever add stuff together. The most complex would probably be something like this.
Yeah,
Okay. I was gonna say, cause yeah, just different lines.
You don't need to add stuff to it.
Okay.
That was just an example that you could layer stuff and add stuff. And as long as the end result of whatever's in the brackets is a number, is an integer, that is in the range of that, or is an index of the list, it will display it. So, like Catherine said, I can use, like, I don't want to hard code Catherine's name. So, and I also don't want to hard code 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a for loop for x in range the length of names. Print names. Right, we're just going to start with that. Oopsies. How do I fix that?
I don't know what you're thinking. What are you thinking? You want to print Catherine's grade? Or
I want to print each individual name.
obviously,
What'd I do wrong?
Ordered up range.
Print list 1, X.
I need range because I'm going to need range in a sec. Or will I? Alright, let's go with Catherine. Catherine's saying get rid of this. You want to walk us through what you're thinking, Catherine? What do we got to do next?
Oh, for next.
Print X. Boom.
No.
Okay.
I spaced out what we were talking about.
What?
We spaced out. No, we learned we got this.
Yeah, this is, I just wanted to print each name. Now I want to print the grade associated with it in the other list. Well, what's the other
Test grade.
test 1 grade? Let me just get that back up so everyone can see it, and names.
So for X in names, comma, that's 1 grade.
I don't need, nope, that won't work.
Does it only work for index and not?
It only works for index and enumerate, or enumerate. So what I would do, if I were doing this, I would say the grade of now, okay, so I would do, I want to, the information I want to display is in what list?
Test grade.
Test grades. So I would do test 1 underscore grades. Now I need the index. Now I need the corresponding grade of X.
Index of, so X is now a string. X is a string.
Because test grade of X,
Yeah, that's not.
not a string. So X is currently the individual names. So I need to use the names to get the index of the thing.
So index dot list 1, index.
It'd actually be names.index of X.
So here it is
Wait, how'd you do that?
Okay, so I want to print the information I want to display. I want to display the test grades, right? Where's that information stored? In the list called test grades. So that's why I have test 1 grades here. Because the information I want is in that list. Then, so if I do, what should come, so what's this line doing? Who can break it down for me? Can anyone break it down for me?
Okay.
Stockton?
So you're looking for test grades, what you're looking for in test grades, but then name the index of Catherine is finding where Catherine is in that list, right?
Yes, so this right here is returning the index of wherever Catherine is. Because we know that test 1 grades, here, let me draw this up.
Just making it like correlate to the other list.
Yeah, so take a look at this. So I got green. Oh, I can't zoom in, sorry. So we know that 0 and Sunny, or 90 and Sunny, are both index what?
1. 0.
0. Josh and 89 are what?
1.
Catherine is,
Okay.
Peter is 3, Mikey is 4. 96 is 2, 100 is 3, 92 is 4. So the index of both of these, so test grades, test 1 grades, bracket 4 is Mikey's grade. What's the, how would I print just Mikey? You-
Names.
Right, these two are correlated. They both have the same index, correct? You guys see that?
Right. Names, comma, test 1 grade.
So what this line of code so what this is doing is it needs the index of the name. So the index of each name is 0 through 4. Does that make sense? Josh, does that make sense? Look at your about. It looks like I'm putting you to sleep.
No, I'm totally awake.
Totally awake? Okay, that's all I like to hear. Well, that's not all I like to hear, but you know what I mean.
Kind of makes sense, yeah.
Kind of makes sense. It will make sense the more you use it. I'm just trying. So if so I've correlated this list and this list. Again, I'm just trying to. The first index of this list is Sunny's grade, right? Because I coded it that way. Does everyone get that? Is there any questions on that? Okay, so I'm gonna. So currently, right here, the first time we cycle through the list, what does x equal?
1.
Nope, nope, nope.
Oh, it's in name. Never mind. Sunny?
Mikey?
Oh, no, I lost it.
All right, well, I heard Stockton say it. It equals Sunny.
Oh, actually, you have another question now.
Yeah, what's up?
We have school Friday this week? We do. We do?
Yeah.
Mm,
Right, so Sunny, the first time we cycle through, so this is going to say Sunny, right? That's what we see here. Now we have 90. What is name's index of Sunny? It'll be 0. Now we have test 1 underscore grades bracket 0. What does that equal? No. Test 1 grades. 90. And then we have 90 there. Does that make sense? Being able to use index is really, really useful, especially when you have multiple lists like this.
Why don't you just do for x and length names, and then you wouldn't have to put x back into like an index. You can just use
Okay, so let's do it that way. Let's see what it looks like. So what were you saying, Stockton? You're saying
say, like for x in length, length is and then print the grade of list one or wait, what is the list called? It's called names.
names and test 1 grades.
So for the grade of name and then x, name like bracket x is test 1 grades bracket x.
You can do that too.
I think that's easier though.
It is, but I'm also trying to get you guys to learn index.
Oh yeah, sure.
So, again, there are multiple ways to code stuff, right? Just because I show you one way, unless I specifically tell you to do it that way, I don't really care.
What's the benefit of index again?
It returns the location of that item in your list. Yes.
Will this be on campus?
What?
Like-
This
Like this exact.
this video will be on YouTube today.
Oh, word. Hi, YouTube.
Do you guys not watch my YouTube videos?
No.
I do. I like
I've watched
to
one
comment
once.
on every single
I've gotten some mean comments. I hope they're not from you guys.
No.
Wait, you
Seriously?
did?
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna keep going. So
Maybe.
again, I feel like I might have spent too long on index. Do you guys understand what it does? It returns the location of an item in a list.
Did you guys like my clip?
No, I thought
All right.
it was weird, but I liked it.
So names. I need to add some names to this. There's 2 ways we can do this. We can do this with, we can add it with names plus,
But how do you make it like not in the middle?
oh, hang on. Let me do names equals names plus Ezra. Now his names, okay. Mikey's always on there. It is a running total. Now, you don't necessarily have to make everything a list to add it. Right? What if I'm just asking a user for something? Right? I don't necessarily, user is list of user. Okay? I don't want to have to do that all the time. What I can do is I can just say names.append and Josh D. And it will add it to the very end. An easy way to remember append, what are the last 3 letters?
And
We add to the end, and if you make app, the P's look like D's if you rotate them. So add end, append.
Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, it works.
It does. It's a little bit weird, but so typically that's how I would create lists. Is you ask a user, oopsies. Input, what do you want to add? Yep,
Can I have Sunny?
Sonny.
How do I delete something from the list here? Delete.
DEL space list index. So we can do this. We can add it. So we need to add. Peter's already in the list. We need Brendan, David, and Stockton. So now names has every name on it. Peter.
Can I use the bathroom?
There's 3 minutes left of class.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. If you need to go that bad, go ahead.
No, I can wait 3 minutes.
Okay. So that's names. Okay? Does that make sense? I just append, and whatever's in the parentheses gets added to the end. Josh?
Is it bad to use names plus equals whatever instead of names dot append? Is
No.
names dot append better, or is there like a flaw in plus equals when it comes to lists?
6 of one, half dozen the other. I like append better because I don't like concatenating things if I don't have to. I'd rather use a function or a method. Last one before we run out of time. is insert. So I can do names. I'm actually going to delete. And just got rid of whatever that was. Apparently you can't append a list to a list. Let's say I need to, for whatever reason, let's say I need to insert myself, but I have to be at the beginning of the list because the code works with the teacher being at the front. Right? That'd be a little harder to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do names dot insert and I'm going to add Zach, and here this is where I'm going to add my item. The index I want Zach to be at is 0. So now Zach is at front and everyone gets shifted over 1. Make sense? What's tomorrow? Alright, well I guess you guys don't have homework.
No, what? We're doing no.
You're welcome. Do you guys have any questions? Guys and lady, questions?
This is somewhat important.
No? Okay. Last one is remove. If you don't know the index of something, you can still remove it. Let's say I want to get rid of Peter, right? But I don't want to count because I'm efficient, not lazy. I would do names.
Can't you just find the index of Peter first and then?
Yeah, but I can also do names that remove Peter. And now Peter's gone. So you can either remove something based on its index. So regardless, I want to delete the very first thing on a list, I can do that. Or I can delete a very specific element. So again, no homework. If you guys have questions, we were almost done with the chapter, or that section.
I think I can speak for the class. That was a great lesson.